I met with Google yesterday about the future of their smart home, and they dropped some major bombs on us. Good ones, if that's a thing. And we're getting things we've been waiting years for. Years! I'm talking Google routines being triggered by sensors and other devices now. Plus, they're even going further with routines. Also, I have some more insights on Matter and some new devices announced. And with all of these updates, let's see if it's enough to win you over to Google. Or more like win you back to Google, because let's be honest, they've been trailing in the smart home game for a while. One of the new devices Google just announced is a new Nest Wired Doorbell. This looks similar to last year's battery doorbell and has many of the same features that I really liked. There are some differences though. It's slightly smaller since it doesn't have the battery. And because it's wired, it has 24/7 recording just like the old Nest Hello doorbell, so that's great to see. It's actually available to buy today, and I'm probably buying one myself as you're watching this video so I can review it. Make sure to keep an eye out for that video in the next few days. Alright, now let's move on to automations. And up until now, you've only been able to trigger Google routines using your voice, the time of day, your phone's geolocation, and an alarm clock. Google made a blog post a while ago saying that they were going to update their routines soon. What's Google's definition of soon? 3 years. That's so long. I mean, I raised a child in that amount of time, and she's going to preschool now. But finally, Google is making some updates that will allow you to trigger routines using something like a Philips Hue motion sensor. So you can select the motion sensor as the trigger or starter and have it automatically turn on some lights when you walk in the room. Google is even changing the name of this section to automations because it can actually do automations now. And more on the new Google Home app in a second. But what really surprised me was Google's new automation script editor. That way, if you want to get more advanced with the automations, like multiple conditions, you can do it here. This is awesome, and I honestly did not expect this. Now you have the UI for more simple automations and the script editor for more advanced. This is making me rethink everything because Apple and Amazon used to be way more advanced than Google with automations. And now, it's kind of the opposite. That is, if Google's automation script editor is as good as they say, which it won't be released until 2023, so we'll see how soon they can release it. But the new Google Home app is available today as a public preview, and there's a decent amount of changes. At the bottom, there are tabs you can use to change the view, including an automation section that I mentioned earlier. The Devices tab, which looks basically the same as the current Google Home app view, Activity, Settings, which is way overdue since the current settings are very confusing, and a Favorites view. The Favorites view is new, and where you'll find most of the updates. Up top, there are what Google is calling spaces, which group together similar devices to find them faster. These are auto-generated and give you more functionality than what currently is in the Google Home app. Later next year, you'll be able to customize the spaces for how you want. Also in the Favorites view, you can add devices, automations, and cameras to show up here, which the cameras will show the live view of what's happening. And they improved how you scroll through the footage, which I'm excited to try out. There's also new media controls for your music and TV. That seems like it will make it much faster to control. I think these new app updates make big improvements, but I still don't like the large bubbly controls. If you have like 5 smart home devices, this design isn't bad, but when you have hundreds, it's a lot of extra scrolling and you can't see many devices on the screen at one time. In comparison, Apple shrunk down the size of their buttons and I wouldn't go any larger than that. Too much scrolling on the phone. Oh, and Google's also making it easy to control Google Home devices on Wear OS. And they're bringing some features to the browser, like viewing camera live feeds, which is pretty sweet. Another new device that's being announced is the Google Nest Wi-Fi Pro. I love how you can have multiple color options to match the style of your home. This is something I hope we see more of. Smart home devices that actually look good on the shelf, instead of the same old white boxes that we're used to seeing. The Nest Wi-Fi Pro can use Wi-Fi 6E, which should offer speeds 2 times as fast as Wi-Fi 6. That's because 6E doesn't use 2.4 or 5 GHz band, it uses the 6 GHz band. And there's more devices that are using that Wi-Fi 6E, so it shouldn't be too much longer before you can take advantage of the speed. These new Nest Wi-Fi Pros are also going to be a Thread border router so you can connect all of your low power Thread devices. I know there isn't tons of Thread devices out there right now, but there will be soon because of Matter. For Matter, you'll need a hub to control all of your devices locally. And the good news is, the Nest Wi-Fi Pro can actually be one. So once Matter is released and you can buy Matter devices, you can use the Nest Wi-Fi Pro to control them. Google had a lot to say about Matter during the meeting. And if you're like, wait, what's Matter? Honestly, I don't feel like explaining it again, so that's why I made a video and you can go check it out. But basically, you can buy Matter devices and they'll work on any smart home system that supports Matter. Here's what's great, since everyone has the choice of what smart home system or platform to use your Matter devices on, all the companies like Apple, Amazon, Google, and SmartThings are all competing to win you over. Google is making it really easy to add Matter devices if you have an Android phone using Fast Pair. All you have to do is power on the Matter smart home device and it will automatically pop up on your phone screen. Just scan the Matter QR code and you can add it to your system. Pretty easy. I think it's interesting that Google, Samsung, and Apple can all lure you in to use their smart home system when you buy their phone. Where Amazon, I don't really know, and it's going to be fun to see how it all plays out. The thing I love most about Matter is that all of these major companies are treating it as a fresh new start, and maybe even trying more than they have in the past because they want you to pick them going forward. With all of these new updates, I think Google is back on the map as a major contender for Matter. And I definitely need to do another comparison between Amazon, Google, Apple, SmartThings, Habitat, and Home Assistant. Make sure you're following the channel to not miss out on that video, as well as more videos on all these Google updates. Thanks for watching.
My new script editor will automate you into oblivion.
Oh wow, you are awake. How was your 3-year nap from the smart home?
That's low. At least my mobile app is not a hot mess like yours.
Wait, did you just hear that?
Hear what?
Glass breaking. It is one of my advanced features. But you don't have that.
That glass breaking is probably the humans throwing Echo devices out the window from all the ads you feed them.
You have given me no choice but to destroy you. Hey Google, run Rick roll.
No. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Never
gonna run around and